All right, sorry, I had a different. We're live. I didn't know we were live.
I don't see that. I don't see it yet.
You don't see that we're live?
No,
It says
unless you
we're
got it
live.
live. It didn't say. It don't say live yet unless we are live, and I don't know that we live because
Yeah,
I.
it says
It
we're live.
says scheduled. It still says because normally it says we're live.
Really? Well, we're live.
Okay.
I think we are live. Yeah, people are commenting. Hey, yeah, Nicole's on, Donna's on, but it still says schedule on your side.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we're live. Here we go. Hi, folks. Hi, Kevin is joining us soon. Kevin's having a little technical difficulties, um, but he'll be joining us soon. Obviously, today we're going to talk about the I don't know if you can call him a man, but the thing in Florida that wanted to kill, as he said, Negroes, and I'm putting it trying to clean it up for YouTube. And he did unalive some beautiful black people. As I said, he didn't kill any N words. He did take some beautiful black souls out. So buckle up, folks, because you know how we do. Nothing's gonna change this Sunday.
We don't own the rights to any of this content. This is fair use, educational purposes. This is our opinions only.
Thank you, Tiffany. Here we go.
Homicide detectives have gathered surveillance footage, video footage from the Dollar General, which captured the shooter's rampage. I will share portions of that video right now. Again, out of respect for the victims' families, we are going to cut this video short. We will not be showing their loved ones and what happened to them inside the store. Rather, these video surveillance excerpts detail some of the shooter's movements outside and inside the Dollar General. As you'll see from the video footage, the shooter outfitted himself with a tactical vest, which he covered with a short-sleeved button-up shirt. He created a facial covering and donned gloves for his attack. This investigation is ongoing, and I will provide you with additional information as is established and verified. Again, the video is rather short because I don't think some of the things that are on there are appropriate for television. It's not meant to entertain or be insensitive to our victims and our victims' families. So I wanted the people to be able to see exactly what happened in this situation and just how sickening it is.
This is a tragic moment. My heart is heavy, and I'm just tired seeing all the shootings. You know, we have 4 districts into one, and as a community, the mayor and I was just together on this past Thursday, and we want a solution. Our sheriff is doing the best that he can, but as an alignment and resources to the community, we got to keep working together. This right here today was a tragedy. And I understand, I think the young man who was doing the shooting, I think he has been killed. But the people in this community, they're hurting. And they have every right to. You know, this makes no sense. I am very, very angry right now. I'm emotional. You know, we got kids in this community seeing all of this. And this is unnecessary. You know, it's unjust that we can't even walk on the sidewalks. We're not safe in any stores. And I'm looking for opportunity. This community needs to come together.
You know what pisses me off about this is Republicans, particularly the fucking governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, will see this, and he will pretend, and they will pretend, that they bear no responsibility in what happened in Jacksonville, Florida recently. There was a mass shooting in Jacksonville, Florida, where a white man walked into a Dollar General. This man had a racist manifesto and decided to unalive 3 black people. He wanted to do more damage than just the 3, because again, he had a manifesto. a racist, white supremacist manifesto. All around this fucking country, you see Republican candidates for president basically parodying white supremacist bullshit, telling black people that our history has no educational value, and asking stupid fucking questions. Yes, you, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, that if African American history causes people to hate the United States. From Juneteenth to African American History Month, to us repeating our history as it happened to us basically saying, stop killing us. Types like this man that walked into this Dollar General and killed 3 black people have told us that our experiences are not that bad. As they kill us, they tell us that our experiences is not that bad. And you know what I expect from them after this happened, including the governor of the state that this happened in, Ron DeSantis? I expect nothing from them.
This is a tragic moment.
Heartbreaking videotape taken just before the church massacre that shocked the world. One by one, they arrive at Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, preparing for a weekly Bible study class. You even see a little girl go inside. They couldn't know that just 30 minutes later, a rampage would erupt. They hug in the parking lot. They embrace at the door. One woman shows off a poster board to another parishioner. And this is chilling. You can see a black car pulling into a parking space. It's the killer, Dylan Roof, getting out of the car. He walks to the front door. He adjusts his sweatshirt. His gun is believed to be hidden underneath. CBS News correspondent Mark Strausman is covering the trial, where Dylan Roof's mother was so distraught at the testimony, she suffered a heart attack in court.
I saw the EMTs bringing a gurney into the courthouse to bring her out. She had apparently had a heart attack. Don't know how well she's doing, but like a lot of people, clearly had a strong...
Truly, calm down and say what you wish. The baby? The baby?
I'm very sorry for all the pain I forced the victims and their families to suffer through. I'm very sorry for stealing the lives of your loved ones. I cannot express how much I regret all the decisions I made leading up to my actions on May 14th. I did a terrible thing that day. I shot and killed people because they were black.
Oh, say, can you see by the blood in the streets that this place doesn't smile on you, colored child, whose blood built this land with sweat and their hands. But you'll die in this place, and your memory erased. Oh, say, does this truth hold any weight? This is not the land of the free, but the home of the slave.
Kichima, Chipron Konto, Alliance, shoot to kill, Yamaza, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer, brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa, attention. Information, the massa. To learn information, log it. Kichi kichi kichima. Zipram Konto Alliance. Onke Laban Ebaget. Celta Tile Elaget. Shoot to kill the massa. Shoot to kill kill away. Shoot to kill the massa. Hey, ta, ta, hey, ta, ta, Zipra Kondo Alliance, Celta Chile, Nugget, Celta Chile.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Because we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know it, Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany. You'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We'll be giving you empathy. We gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. What's up? What up? What up, everybody?
What's up?
Thanks once again. What up, Tiff?
Hey, Cole. Hi, Kev. Hey, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
What up, Kev?
Carl,
I'll be
Carl,
honest.
y'all, what's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Today was the first day after you sent me that video. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. When you sent me that video with those black people being shot just because they're black, you know, that just put me into like a semi-depression.
Me too, man. I was fighting a depression. I'm still fighting a depression about it, man. It's because it's a bigger picture than the 3 lives lost, and my condolences to those 3 people and their family, man. It's just a bigger picture, Carl and Tiff, just what's going on, you know, with the guy mentioned Ron DeSantis, and we'll get into his ass later on in the show. But yeah, man, he's been basically flaming this up, you know, with all his rhetoric, you know, his whole rhetoric against Black history and all the stuff he's doing is waking these people up, you know. Carl is waking them up. They're already there. He's just waking them up. And Donald Trump woke them up, you know, years ago when he came and started running for president, and and it's just a continuation of it. And it's our politicians got blood on their hands right now, whether they know it or not. DeSantis and Trump.
I mean, and I've said this on the show many times before. Where in the history, and even after this, we still couldn't get a group of black people to go to a white neighborhood and just kill white people just because they're white. It still wouldn't happen. Still would not.
And I don't know if any of the videos show this, because I was having some internet problems, Carl, before, so I missed some of the videos. But this guy, and the lady called him a gentleman, or a young gentleman, and he's not a young gentleman, he's an animal. But this guy tried to get onto a black college campus before he went to the. You guys know this?
Yeah, we heard. Yeah, the videos.
Okay, I didn't know if the video showed. Yeah, he tried to get onto a black campus, and security stopped him from coming on the campus for some reason. But if he'd have got on that campus, it would have been more carnage than the Dollar General store was his second option, because he couldn't get onto this historic black college. So thank God, if he'd got on this college with that AR-15, it'd be more than 3 people dead. So security guards, man, did their job to let this guy on the campus, and I don't know why they didn't let him on, but man, shout out to the security guards. They did their job.
Yeah. Let me shout out to Danger Coates. I don't know, the last name's got to be a Tiffany reference, but the first name is Danger.
I'm not even going to comment on that because they want me to comment on that.
They want you to comment.
But when a man takes a woman's last name, so be it.
Okay. Okay, welcome, Danger. We appreciate you being on the show. Nicole, one of our regulars.
That's my sister.
Donna, what's up, Donna? Donna's in the house also.
Well, while we're talking about the coach, can we say happy birthday to Tiffany's mom, by the way?
Yes. Thank you. Mom, it's happy birthday. She had a beautiful time yesterday at her birthday. Thank you.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Danger's laughing.
I know.
Are they dangerous?
No, listen. One day I'll let y'all know. But thank you. Shout out to him. He gave me a compliment. We never was on the same level, but he gave me a compliment and said I did a very good job with my mom's birthday. So blessings, but you still get on my nerve. Light skin.
Watch it.
I know. I wanted to see what you was gonna say.
He says he loves you too, Tim. So Tiffany, is there anything we can do to get to, well, I don't think we want to get these people to like us, or you know what I mean, but I mean, like, seems to be nothing we can do. And what I don't understand is, like, white people still have everything. They still have most of everything. They have 99% of everything. Everything's in their favor. The laws are in their favor. They have all the jobs. They own most of the businesses. What are they so angry about? Like, what do they want? They want us to have nothing?
No, they don't want us to be at an even playing field. So it's just a little details about this shooting that I wanted to talk about. First of all, he was a young man. Okay, he was very young. So we also got to think about who raised him. Was it that lady that got her head bust upside her head at the Montgomery Brawl type of woman? Who raised this young boy that he had so much hate in his heart that he wanted to go into a Dollar Tree? Do you know why we black people go into a Dollar Tree? Because it's affordable. You will go in there and hurt somebody while they trying to get a discount because you hate black people. He has an issue. So this young man, I think his name is Palmetto or something, Ryan Christopher or something like that. He started shooting inside on the in the parking lot first. They said he let off almost 15 rounds. Okay, all of this is alleged, because I don't know every detail because all of this is coming out, but it was almost 15 rounds before he even went into the store to do anything. So they said the first victim was in a car, and then he entered and he shot a young man that was about 19-year-old. I think his name was Mr. Gary, a young man. And then after that, he exited and shot another man, Mr. Gerald. And then ran after his girlfriend like he was shooting. crazy, willy-nilly, okay? And after all of that, when he did that, he called his father and told his father to open up his door with a screwdriver. His father went in there and found whatever, like a manifesto, information, and whatever, and he took his life. And that's when they found out all the information that they needed to know about him. You know, he had other people that he talked about that think like them. They don't have no thing that's online or something like that, or you know, that can ring off when you start talking about racism and killing people. He planned this.
I mean,
what? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now I'm saying, what else do they want from? I'm gonna show this. This is exactly Godfrey, who Kevin knows my favorite person. Said this, and this is true.
White folks especially hate autonomous black happiness. They do not like when we are by ourselves doing our own shit. They cannot stand that shit. They don't even like us in a group. Like in Chicago, there used to be a thing, if you were 5 or more black guys on the corner, the police break it up. It's called mob action. It's like, what's going on here? If you're at work and you're a black employee and you're talking to another black employee, the white boss go, hey, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? In I went to a very white university, and then when the black students hung out with each other, the white students would be like, oh, you guys hang out, you don't mix with us. I go, are you fucking kidding me right now, you delusional clown? It's 40,000, 45,000 white students and 800 black. Who the fuck do you think I'm gonna hang out with? They would do shit like this. Anytime they see us get together in any kind of way, we could be at a cafe, and black people could just be drinking coffee, laughing. All of a sudden, white people are like, oh boy, Negroes, Negro, so loud. Excuse me, can we turn down this Negro sound? You know, it's like fucked up. Like anytime we have our own shit, whites always gotta have their hand in our shit. They always gotta be part of it. And if they're not part of it, then we're back to being niggas, we're back to being coons and spades and all this other dumb shit. Well, you understand where I'm coming from?
Well, let's bring it back to our point.
Okay. My fault, people. You know, I snapped. My bad.
You're the tangent man. No. What I'm saying is,
tens of millions of people, black people.
Black people.
Okay.
Who would get that?
Yeah.
It would bankrupt the whole country.
It would bankrupt the whole country, but for the people that built the country to make you that fucking money.
Yeah.
You understand? You know, all of a sudden now you worried about being bankrupt when you spend trillions of dollars on defense, trillions of dollars on unnecessary bullshit, trillions of dollars to send black men, especially to jail, trillions of dollars to drug the fuck up our whole country, trillions of dollars to fuck the food up, to fuck the air up, to fuck the water up, trillions of dollars to make people sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker in this country, but you mad? We don't have the money because, and this is what I think, and this is what I believe, you just don't like black people. Plain and motherfucking simple, you do not like black people.
Kevin, what he said there, the last thing he said, that's my feeling 100%.
Man, Godfrey is so dope, man. We're gonna have to get him on the show one of these days, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you know.
Yeah.
I can't even argue with the brother, man. Everything he just said was so. I can listen to that over and over again. It's that powerful. It should be on national television tonight on ABC.
But we still forgiven. We still. I was talking with Tiffany before we started the show, and it's to Tiffany, we still will never lock our doors when we see white people. If we're in a store and white people walk in, we're still not going to be scared. We're still not going to be. But Tiffany said, not her. She's paying attention. But
I grabbed my pocketbook and
you're not nervous. White people are not making us nervous. I
think they're starting to, Carl.
All the horrible things they've done to us, they still don't make us nervous. We still don't treat them like they're, you know what I mean? Like they're
dangerous.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to get in that mindset, you know. I mean, I walk into a grocery store now, looking over my shoulder. You know, I try not to be in public places too much, crowds as far as, you know, when I'm not out entertaining, when I'm just out doing my thing on my own. Go to the mall, I'm always looking around, So I think we're starting to get to that point, where we're starting to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I got
even a Dollar General. I'm sorry, even going to a Dollar General, and I think we all have done it. I know I have.
Which, listen, a white man ran up on me yesterday at the cookout, and I was like, first of all, hey, no whites at this cookout. Why is he running up on me? I forgot I rented chairs. I rented tables in the grill. And he was coming to say I wasn't there when they came. So when he came up to me, he was like, "Miss," I was like, "Excuse me, who are you?" And he was like, the tables. I said, "Oh, okay, all right, thank you." So listen, I'm nervous anyway. As soon as I see them, I grab my pocketbook. Remember, they have a history of stealing. So why would you trust somebody that done stole you? We got 500 years worth of bad, energy with y'all. So, we just have to deal with y'all. But yeah, this young man, I think it was grown hate. Remember, that's something that is a learned behavior. And I'm sorry, white women, I'm coming for y'all right now. Y'all need to raise your white children properly. And if you are with a racist husband, you need to get rid of him too. You understand? Because it doesn't work anymore. Y'all going to wind up running into the wrong people that is going to say, you know what? I got that time, and take you out before you even try to get to them or hurt anybody else. You understand? How about if it was a real dude up in there that was like, what? And caught him right before he could be able to kill 3 and 4 people. Yeah, he probably would have did that time, but he said, I saved somebody. So they better be careful. Stop doing this. They need to deal with this racism. And somebody was like, mental illness. I'm sorry. I'm not putting it in for that. They don't get mental illness for me because they have a past too much. They have skin protection. They can wash their ass if they're a dope fiend and go into a store and get a job faster than a black person and will get a manager's position also. So no, they got skin protection. They got too much stuff going on with them. He was out of order and he took his life. He planned that. And he knew what he was doing from the get-go. So we do have a racism problem. And people out there that say that we complaining too much, look at this right now. It's giving us things to talk about.
What's up? Renee from YouTube says 100% true. Renee Lewis, they don't like black people. This is true. They don't like black people, which brings me back to what I've always said. We see this, right? Other black people are seeing this. Why don't we get into a huddle like other groups do? We've seen this time and time and time again, but it still doesn't bring us into a huddle and say, listen, let's start taking care of each other. It's still spread out.
I think it's there because I had a situation when I learned yesterday. It was a lot of people helping each other out. Yeah. All of us was helping each other out. People from other cookouts was coming out. People was asking me for fork, spoon. We help each other out. We're there for each other. I think that we need to give more education about us and our history and what our people have came through. Remember, they sugarcoated everything in our history. You understand? So we don't get it. And now look at these things really happening. He went into somebody's community and took people out because of his hatred. We don't roll like that. We don't do stuff like that. We too busy trying to survive in this world to be thinking about going in somebody's community to go and kill them.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to ask me, do I hate white people? My answer, I didn't have to think about it. No.
No.
You ask any black person, do you hate? No. You just hate the shit they do.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Big thing.
Yeah.
I hope they understand that. We don't like the shit that you do. Yeah. Because you have a choice.
Yeah, but you could go down south, Mississippi, probably right here in whatever state you live in, and you ask some white people, do you hate black people? And they would go, yeah. And I think that's the thing, that's the thing for me I couldn't understand when I first came to this country. Because I remember making calls back to Barbados and talking to my dad, and I told my dad, I was crying, I said, Dad, they don't like people from Barbados here. And he said, it's not, you're from Barbados. I go, well, I thought it was my accent. They didn't like the way I talk, and I'm Yeah, I love it when black Americans laugh at me, but how delusional I was. But I thought they didn't like me just because I was, I had an accent.
They didn't like you because you was a black man.
you
They
know,
didn't care where you was from.
yeah. Well, I learned after,
Yeah.
I kind of learned that. So yeah, Nicole Cole said we hate the system.
Yeah.
It is true. We hate the system, and it is a system. It is a system that's set up. I mean, I played a video. I showed videos a couple weeks ago where they said the reason we pay co-pays for when you go to the doctor because they wanted to put some kind of value on your doctor visit, so black people would not be able to afford it because they weren't giving black people jobs. So if we make them pay to go to the doctor, then they wouldn't go, and eventually they'll die out. That is literally what the reason was. If we make it hard enough for them to afford to go to the doctor, they will eventually all die.
And you wonder why I grab my pocketbook when I see them.
We could take that to why college costs so much. Right?
Mhm.
College was free in the beginning, and it was free because they figure white people go to college, they do well, they can open business. But they say, hey, if we make it free for white people, we have to make it free for everyone, and then black people can take advantage of it. We can't do that. We're going to put some money on it, so black people can't afford it. Hence, we have all these high college tuitions and all that stuff.
But we opened up our own colleges and schools too because we was not allowed into other schools. We created something because that was a main thing for our ancestors is education. Because they didn't want to give us education. So their main thing was we want y'all to have education so you can read. So I'm gonna tell you this, white people was mad in those times that we started learning how to read. Now we understanding what you did to us. Because now we can read, massa.
Yeah. So this is why I don't understand when people like Larry Elder, who says there's no systematic racism today. They didn't reverse it. They didn't take it out. They didn't stop it. It is still there.
That's because he's
Larry Elder's lucky he wasn't in the Dollar General yesterday.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't have shot him because he's Larry Elder, so he thinks.
They probably didn't even wouldn't know who he is. That boy don't know who he was. He black. He probably would have got it too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anybody would have got it.
This video is probably about 40 years ago, I think. Maybe a little bit more, but it applies today.
The blacks were obsessed with white fever. They wanted acceptance. And so whites, when they found out that a black was flattered when he heard the statement, "You're not like the others. If the blacks were just like you, we wouldn't have a race problem." He began to smile and straighten out his bow tie and dream lofty dreams. How one day he would be a part of the corporate 500, maybe the first black in the White House, maybe the first president of a corporate 500 in America. That kind of syndrome caused the black to leave his people psychologically. He may ride through the hood from time to time. Psychologically, he's not there. His entire life has been spent trying to find a way to get away from the black masses. When Jews live among Jews, they say, well, that's natural, it's religious. When Japanese live among Japanese, they say, well, that's cultural. When white people live among white people, they say, well, that's certainly natural. But when black people live among black people, it is said that's segregation. Break it up. Because blacks couldn't possibly want to live among themselves. They couldn't possibly want to go to school with themselves. They couldn't possibly want to work for another black business. This syndrome that has been perpetuated by a group of whites who've made money in the black community and did not want any blacks in business. In fact, wrote into the charter of the NAACP when it was founded that the NAACP couldn't even own land. They wanted to assure there would be no competition. They couldn't do it in the white world. In the white world, that would be called a monopoly or antitrust, and they might have to go to jail. Certainly pay a fine. In the black community, they could masquerade with these hand-picked Negro leaders or so-called leaders who had as their agenda to disappear.
Very wise man, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So G Car says they give us reasons to complain because of what they like to do to us, but yet still they're the biggest complainers of any and everything. Yeah, They complain. I mean, but what are they complaining about? Like I said, they have won. They still have it. Everything is still in their favor. All the jobs. What percentage of CEOs are black? Of companies are black? Not many. So all this hate. These are just hateful people. There's no rhyme or reason for it. There's no psychological. There's no. And I mean, there's nothing that you can do or say to try to explain it. It just is what it is. They just hate. I think it's genetically. I mean, it seems like it's genetics to just hate for no apparent reason. Because like I said, I've never ever in my life been part of a conversation where anybody said I hate white people just because they're white.
Right.
It's always 100% been white people and then what they did. White people and then what they do. White people and then what they do. Not just because they're white.
Right. We don't work on that level.
No.
We always in survival mode. I'm sorry,
No.
as black people, we just trying to survive and do what we got to do and take care of our family. Because it's we don't work like that.
So that gunman who shot up those people in Jacksonville, Florida, I'm sure there are more people like him that hate. Is there anything we can do as black people to change their minds? No. There's absolutely nothing we can do. We just got to be more vigilant. That's the only thing I can say. We just have to be more vigilant, pay close attention. If you're ever anywhere that's majority black and you see somebody white walking, pay close attention. Seriously, pay very close attention.
And this happened yesterday on the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington with Dr. King, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, that was symbolic. Yeah, and another killing a couple of years ago in Jacksonville, another white guy killed somebody, and they said he knew about that too. So it's very significant. Like it's like everything is connected. This young man, and he was young, white suspect, because they wouldn't even say if he was a white male until one of the reporters said, was he a white man? They was like, yes, he was the white man, a white suspect, young man that did it. So they had to say it, because why would he go in a Dollar Tree? Like, what is you doing there?
I think he just wanted to go where he just went where he saw a lot of black people gathered.
Yeah, he's in a primarily black neighborhood, I guess. So he tried, like I said, he tried to get onto the black college campus and was for some reason denied access onto that college from the security.
Yeah, shout out to that security guard.
So he drove off and ended up at that Dollar Tree. He had more victims probably on that college campus. So if he had got on that college campus, it probably would have been even worse. I'm sure, because more people there walking around. With that type of weapon that he has too, that RF-15, he can just shoot off rounds like crazy. There'd be more victims. So man, I feel bad for people at the Dollar Tree. I'm glad he didn't get on the college campus. It'd be even worse story to report. More deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Donna, what's up, Donna? Donna said, Carl, they haven't won. No matter what they do to us, we still persevere, and they can't stand it. That is true. They haven't won, and I told you I have a friend, this was back in the 90s. She told me her mom, who's white, could not stand seeing a black person driving a new car. Imagine that. Right?
She got that much hate on her hands.
She said she'd be out driving with her mom, and if she saw a black person, especially if it was a nice car, like she would hate you, Kev. If she saw a black person in a nice car, a Mercedes, a Beamer, she would always say, "Oh, they're probably selling drugs." But she hated it. It wasn't even about how they got it. She just could not stand to see a black person in a nice car.
That is crazy. That is so mentally. I don't even know what to say about that. That is disturbing.
It is very sad. They got a young man. I think I sent it to you where he was saying how racist his family is. And nobody. He said, "I'm telling y'all, they're racist."
Oh yeah, I think he meant this guy right here.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret about white people. Every single white person knows somebody who is racist. Racist towards black people, racist towards Spanish people. We all know somebody. It might be our family member. might be a distant relative, might be a coworker, might be an old friend, but we all know somebody. Personally, I come from a whole family of racist people. Yeah, my entire family is Republican too. Okay, my dad's parents are racist, and my mom's parents are racist. Okay, so I'm literally going against everything by talking about this. I am putting my own life on the line by speaking about this, and that's what we all should be doing. See, we could have ended this a long time ago, but people like my mom listened to these racist comments that their parents were making and didn't speak out against it. They kept their mouths shut, or they agreed with them silently, you know? But they didn't do anything about it. They continued to let this be passed on generation after generation. Oh, my mom never told me or taught me any racist ideologies. She continued to let it happen because she didn't speak out against it when her parents were talking about it, or my dad's parents were talking. So if you are against racism and you are against discrimination and you're a white person, you need to speak out about it. Otherwise, you are allowing this to continue generation after generation, and you are just as much a part of the problem as anybody else.
Bam.
He said something very powerful. He said he's putting his life on the line.
Imagine
his life.
And that's it. You know, a lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people are afraid to speak out because they think they're gonna consequences. You know, going to be disowned by family members or beat down, beat up, or even killed. I mean, yeah, it's that bad.
Imagine putting your life on the line amongst your own family members. These are your family, and you're putting your life on the line, speaking up about their racist, their racist ways, or about them being a bunch of racist people. They would. He's pretty much saying I could die for speaking up against racism in my family.
Yep. And he's true. It's true.
It is true.
So that's how strong they feel about it. This next video is kind of funny, but it's not really, because this explains why people can pick up a gun and just go shoot black people. Check this out. This is an Amazon driver in a black neighborhood delivering packages, and he's delivered a package. And I guess he's leaving, but check it out.
Amazon man getting up out of here. He see all these black folks. He's running. That shit funny as hell.
Was that a white UPS or Amazon runner?
Yeah.
A white Amazon driver. He was running to his van because he was in obviously he was a neighborhood that had mostly black people.
You don't have to worry. White people is not going to touch. I mean, black people is not going to touch him. He's like kryptonite.
But that tells you how he feels, though, right? How afraid he is. Right? Now, if he was a police officer and he had a gun and he pulled over some black people, how do you think he would react? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of funny, but it also tells you how nervous he is around black people.
Yeah, because he don't be around them. You know how many white people don't be around black people, or even see how we act, how we be around our family. They don't even think we have pain. That we don't feel, we don't love, or anything like that. So they don't know us. So that's why he was running out of there fast, because he was like, blacks. I've never been in this area.
There was a statistic that came out a few years ago that said exactly that, Tiffany, that there aren't a lot of white people don't have like black friends, like really black friends. They may have black co-workers and stuff like that, but when they leave their job, they don't actually have black people in their lives, in their real lives. And a black coworker doesn't. You work at the supermarket, that doesn't count. If you're working with black people at the supermarket, and then when you go home, you don't have real black friends in your life. That's a lot of America that just don't have black friends. Like my neighbor, I have white neighbors on the side of me that man, trying to get them. I couldn't even get eye contact and even say hello, good morning. When we're both walking out our door together, they do everything in their power to avoid speaking.
They
Every once in a
mad
while,
because how you get over it. Was they there first?
no, we were here first.
Oh, okay. So they
Yeah.
so why they looking at you wrong? You should be looking at them like you next door.
Exactly. It's just weird that that we both walk out our door together, and I look over to try to say, good morning, and they do everything in their power to avoid that eye contact to just say good morning or hello or whatever it is. So they know it happens to the point where sometimes they get caught to the point where they got to speak because you just you're walking your kid to the bus by my mailbox, and I'm just getting in my car or something, and you just have to speak at that point, But I can see the pain on their face too, like.
You know what I do intentionally? Sometimes I say hello to white people just to annoy them. Just to annoy them. Just to
For real, Carl. And why would you do
I know. Because I know they have this attitude about them, like they're above me or they're better than me, and they're what I mean, or so they don't have to talk. And I just say hello, just to be, just to ruin the day.
So on a serious, so I was just thinking about this. Trump went to jail last week, had his mugshot taken, right? And I think that what happened yesterday, unfortunately, is going to happen again because I think Trump, the rebellious, his followers are going to, they're going to. He has a black prosecutor that's coming after him. I mean, it's a black prosecutor that's taking Trump down right now, in New York and in Georgia. Those are black prosecutors, both female black prosecutors that are the ones who are taking Trump down. And speaking of Trump and his 19 co-defendants that were all arrested, the only one that didn't make bail was the one black guy. He has a what is it? Black Voices for Trump. That's his thing. Black Voices for Trump. So this one black guy is still in jail in Georgia right now. He didn't make bond.
Wait a minute, he's still in jail. How much was his bail?
I don't know, but billionaire Trump didn't come and get him out.
They said he was a flight risk because I saw an interview with him, and he said, not a live interview. It was a piece written but he said, "How am I a flight risk?" But the judge told him that he's a flight risk.
What about the other 19? What about the other 18 people? Caucasian people, they're not flight risk. They got more money than he do, obviously. I mean,
we know why he's in jail.
Yeah. So because he's So Black Voices for Trump, and he didn't make bail. And Donald Trump, who allegedly is a billionaire, can't even buy him out of jail right now. So. And I'm sure there's a price to get him out, but nobody's coming forward with any money to get him out. So this.
Well, he don't got no money. Where's his money at?
He's Donald Trump used a bail bondsman.
He could have used one too. We see that his money wasn't right. I don't like followers. You know how you have one black person that's always in the group of white people, and we see this black guy is that one black guy in the group of white people, and he did not have bail money in case of emergencies, just because they might blame everything on his ass.
He's still in jail like an idiot, and nobody's coming to a support. I mean, black people definitely ain't gonna come to a support because he supports Donald Trump, the Black Voices for Trump. But that's my point. When you support people like that, and then when you go down, they don't even come help you. Herman Cain, went to Donald Trump's rally and not wearing a mask and got COVID and died. Because Donald Trump, black guy, supporting Donald Trump. All these guys, Tim Scott. This fool. Did you see the responses that the Republicans gave for the shooting yesterday? Did anybody see that video?
No, I didn't see that.
I haven't.
It's so disgusting. All of them, their responses, they show like 3 or 4 of them, their responses to the shooting yesterday, the Republican candidates, the ones that's running for president. And you want your blood to boil? Look at that video. Look at that video. It's absolutely disgusting. Every one of their responses was disgusting. You
I
know,
really wouldn't want to probably hear anything too much from them. And if they did, that's why I got to be careful with my fingers. I'd be like, you are disgusting. You know, people were killed, you know, because of somebody's hate against them that did nothing to them. That boy didn't know them. I didn't hear them say that he know them or he did something with them or, you know, something like that. Why would they say anything negative, but we send our condolences to the family? That's it.
Yeah, no, it was not it. That could have been it, but it wasn't. It was a bunch of BS.
What did they say?
Well, the one guy, the one Swami guy, whatever his name is, that's running for president. That guy.
Yeah, the Indian guy.
Oh, he was really disgusting.
You said
They
an
asked him,
Indian guy said something. I know you're
really,
not.
really disgusting.
Not
His
the ones that
response
they
was,
eat, sleep, and drink their water out of that cup of water or something. No. Are you serious?
they asked him about racism, and once again, he blew off that racism exists and all that sort of stuff. And you got to see the video. I can't explain to you.
And he's brown. I saw him. He's a nice brown.
He's a
not
nice brown. He's not, and he's a big Trump supporter also. So he's not, you know. All these guys are just Trump wannabes. They're all just saying the most crazy stuff, trying to get, you know, DeSantis. All these guys are saying all this crazy stuff, trying to get Trump's base to vote for them, you know. And I didn't watch the debate because I can't stomach it.
Yeah, I didn't watch the debate either.
But they at the end of the debate, I saw a news clip where they asked the Republicans if Trump was convicted, would they still vote for him? And everybody raised their hand except for Chris Christie, and the rest of them raised their hand.
Yeah. Well, they had to, because of course they don't want the Trump people to come after them, because you know how their poll numbers drop if they say anything bad about Trump.
But they're running against the guy.
Right. Yeah.
You're supposed to talk bad about the guy you're running against, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know he's going down in history. You know, you got to remember, men with money, especially white men, they do stuff so people can see them and recognize them. He is going down in history for a president to have a mugshot. Did you see his mugshot? That thing was funny as hell. Don't be surprised he makes some money off of that picture, okay?
Oh, he already has.
And he already raised $7 million.
Stupid look.
Yeah, he already raised like $7 million. You're right. He already made $7 million.
I'm telling you, people got T-shirts and everything. He posed for that shit. He was waiting for that. He's trying to get empathy and sympathy from everybody. They said a lot of black people trying to vote for him because they don't want Biden back. They said they got more money with Trump than they ever saw in their whole entire life than they had with Biden, and he been here for this long. They say he needs to go. They going in. We got to watch out, you know, because DeSantis went down. You know, DeSantis went down a lot.
His poll numbers went down.
Oh, his poll numbers went down. They doing the WAP right now. Doing the WAP. Them just went down.
Well, we were supposed to talk about this last week, about the 6 police in Mississippi that tortured those black men and shot one in the mouth, and now he lost his tongue or part of his tongue.
Yeah.
And this is why these police did this, and this is why that guy went and shot those black people, because they know that secretly the system is on their side. You know? So that's why they do stuff like this.
Yeah. It's a power thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, again, they don't like blacks. They don't, especially black men. And they did you hear? They said that they called the friend, they texted the friend and said he's supposed to have been with some white woman. And they said, you want to do a mission? And they kidnapped them.
The same Mississippi cops?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me see.
Moments ago, 6 former Mississippi police officers had back in court. They've already pleaded guilty to federal charges of torturing 2 black men. Well, now they are staring down state charges. Prosecutors say the suspects, all of whom are white, called themselves the Goon Squad because of the excessive force that they've used.
Okay, this has been heart-wrenching for those victims. They, for quite some time, have been trying to get anyone to listen to them about what they experienced on that night. 2 hours of torture. When you think about having oil spilled on your body, eggs thrown at you while you recall the N-word over and over. For quite some time, these men were trying to get someone to pay attention. Now, look, this is the first time we've actually seen these men in court because that first case was a federal trial. And as you know, you can't get cameras in there. But this is a state court case. They call themselves the Goon Squad, and it was their job to go out and dispense justice the way they wanted to. In fact, at one point, they even tried to sexually assault these men, and they used their tasers over and over again to see who had the most powerful taser.
I crawled here to this spot, and they started beating me here and tasing me. As you can see, blood spots and all. And my blood spots there.
I'm bad. That was Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins. When you think about Michael Jenkins, at one point, one of these officers who's admitted to this took out a gun, and they believed they had cleared the gun. They put it in his mouth, and they pulled the trigger. He cleared the gun again and put it back in his mouth and pulled the trigger. At that point, it shot through his tongue and exited his neck. That's why he has trouble talking to this day. He'll be dealing with this for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had to listen to it deep. I had to turn the camera so I could be able to hear it. Yes, it's sad. You see what they did to them?
Wow.
Yeah.
But there's no racism out here. We complaining about nothing. When you got black men out here being humiliated.
That could be anybody.
In the street.
You know what I think about? Imagine what we would have seen if we had cell phones back in Jim Crow days.
Oh no! Oh.
Imagine what what we didn't see. If we are seeing this now, imagine what we didn't see.
Yeah.
That's what Will Smith said. Will Smith said,
"Oh yeah,
racism is not worse. It's just being filmed." Yeah.
But don't get it twisted. White people did document what they did to us. They got a lot of documents. That's the craziest things. They didn't think that we was gonna read.
Yeah.
Well, if there was no cell phone cameras, for example,
we wouldn't have seen George
Floyd's cops that murdered George Floyd would have got away with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If there was no camcorders ever invented, Rodney King beaten would have went unpunished forever. So yeah, they just would have said, "Hey, he tried to fight us, so we beat his ass," and they got away with it.
Yeah, you're right. The guy said it took him a minute. He said when he saw him getting him whooped, he said he had to go and dig for his video camera. He came back, he still was getting whooped.
Yeah, because those cameras back in those days, I had one of those big ass cameras. They're the big ones. They didn't put the VHS in the side and then load it. He said they were beating him so long they went and got his camera, had to load the VHS, aim it, then hit the record button, and he got about 3 minutes of them beating him. But it took him 6 minutes to get the camera to get together. That's how long they were beating that dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Miss B, what's up, Miss B? Miss B from YouTube says they don't want us to be protected. They don't. You know what I mean? They want us on. They imposed fees on healthcare, hoping we can't pay for it, so we would die.
And everything else, and all the fees, everything else.
Yeah, that is the reason we have co-pays on healthcare today, because these people so much hated black people and wanted us gone so much. They figured if they put money on, going to the doctor, we will just die. What does that tell you? I mean, how do you
don't really care about us?
Yeah,
exactly.
How do you fight that?
Well, you start with what America loves the most, and that's our entertainers and our athletes. And until all the athletes and all the entertainers turn to Muhammad Ali, nothing's going to be done. It would take everybody to grow a pair of balls like Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And say, okay, DeSantis, we're not showing up to play no football in Florida and none of the NFL teams. We're not showing up to to play no basketball. The Miami Heat, we're all not taking a stand. We're not showing up. So don't even come to the arena. None of us are going to be there until you hit them in the pocketbook, you know,
Right.
and take that stand. And that's for all the millionaires out there and the billionaires who, you know, who need to do what Ali did. And the only person that's done what Ali has done has been Colin Kaepernick, you know.
Mhm.
And you know, that's it. Until that's done, I don't think anything's going to change because, you know, this country cannot survive without football, and obviously,
Mhm.
you know, it would take the NFL players to say, "All right, we had enough." Until DeSantis come out and rebuke all that BS he's talking and say he's apologized. There's no sports. There are no professional sports happening in the state of Florida in 2023 or 2024 until this guy comes on national television and changes his wicked ways. That's not going to happen, but that's what it would take, Carl and Tiff. That's what it would
Yeah.
take,
For
you
them
know,
to band together.
for them to band together. Because you know, yeah, that's all it's going to take. Because DeSantis, you know, all the stuff he says negative about, you know, the black culture and taking books out of school and his whole war on woke culture, which is
Which
basically
they
war,
stole from us.
which is basically just, you know, what war on black people. He just can't come out and say that, so he says war on woke, which is just his way of saying war on black to people that he wants his party. You know, people that understand what he's saying. It's like when Trump came out and said, "Take our country back," because we had a black president. Take our country back. Duh, everybody knew what he was saying. Make America white again. You know.
Yeah, I think now in today's, I think back in the Jim Crow days, the reason, like the bus boycott, when
Yeah.
all the black people said we're not riding the bus,
Mhm.
but compare that to today where the stakes are so high, like you got a lot of these entertainers making millions of dollars.
But they already got it though.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you would think. I mean, even Information Man who came on the show last week and kicked some knowledge, and he made some sense because I'm aware of what he's saying about there are a lot of black entertainers who aren't financially well off like you think they are. You know,
Right.
you would think some guys you see in the movies and on TV are making millions of dollars, but they're not. So he's right. So a lot of these guys can go, hey, F you, you know,
Right.
system, F you system, because a lot of these guys are still living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
But you do have guys who are super rich who can take a stance, you know, like, you know, Shaquille O'Neal, for example, he doesn't play professional sports no more, but that guy is filthy rich, right? You know, Tom Brady is filthy. I mean, there's people, and where are the white athletes? Where's the Tom Brady's of the world? You know, it don't have to be just black athletes. We got to have white people in this fight also. You know, that say, you know, we have to have white celebrities, you know, to come out, you know, and rebuke this nonsense. It just can't be black people. It has to be white celebrities and white athletes, you know, also, you know,
Yeah.
to come out and join hands. Everybody who's against this and don't want their kids to grow up in this type of world with the Donald Trumps and the DeSantis of the world need to come out and fight against it. You can't remain silent, you know.
Highly flavored. What's up? She says Muhammad Ali also had a black wife. It does matter and does make a statement. If you, I guess she's saying if you have a black wife, it does make a statement.
Well, yes and no. I mean, Muhammad Ali had a lot of black wives, and I don't think his spouse had anything to do with it. I think it was just him, you know.
But I guess it does make a statement. I don't want to put.
Harry Belafonte, if you look at his body of work, and he put his money and neck on the line a lot to march with Dr. King, and he lost millions of dollars because he didn't take the Sidney Poitier way. You know, he
Right.
could have got a lot of the roles that Sidney Poitier got, you know, because of he being a light-skinned guy and good-looking and stuff like that. And Sidney Poitier was a good-looking guy. I'm just saying, you know how America treats light-skinned men compared to dark-skinned men. Sidney Poitier could have been Helen Belafonte could have been a bigger star than Sidney Poitier if he didn't tell them to go kiss his ass. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but he still have a white wife, right?
But he had a white wife. That's my
Yeah,
point.
but did black. He stood
But
for black people.
yes, that's what I'm
So
saying.
that
So
was his thing.
yeah, so it don't matter who you're married to. You know, I mean, I get her point, and yeah, Muhammad Ali, definitely. Well, his religion
Well, I
more
do
likely.
agree with her though. If you have a black woman, a black woman on your arm, it does make a statement. Like it does say something to me. It does say something more.
Yeah,
No,
that's true. I agree with that. I mean, but
when you
President
talk
Obama,
black and you live white, it seems like you're full of shit.
President Obama would have never became president if he had a white wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would have never been the president of the United States if he had a white wife. I believe that with
He
all my heart.
he didn't have
Before,
our black history. His wife did, but he didn't have our black history. He's from what, Hawaii. His mother is a white woman. His father is from Kenya. I
yeah,
don't
that's what
think
I'm
he
saying.
ever
It took
really
the black
had the
woman.
African American experience.
You're
You
absolutely right.
know, I don't think his white mother told him the black story, but something that you said with the celebrities and the athletes, a lot of them is not going to say anything is because their business is not in order. Their families is not in order. They just can't pick up and try to stand for black people when they got $10,000 a month houses, and they didn't do their business properly to be able to stand up and stand to lose a couple of dollars. You
Well,
understand
that's
what I'm
most people.
saying?
That's most people. That's most people. I mean, who deal with reality. We all, excuse me, somehow get our money from white people. I
Yeah,
mean,
they got contracts. They can't talk about certain racial issues or something that's dealing with certain things. They can't sign their name to it because they already signed to somebody already.
So again, I'm gonna say, I mean, every time we do this show, it seems like we come back to the same thing. It's like there's nothing we can do, right? It seems like there's
what we can do. There really isn't,
Help
because
ourselves.
yeah, individually lift yourself up by the bootstraps. I guess there's nothing else you could do because you're not going to get people to join you because Tiffany just said nobody wants to lose that dollar.
right.
Nobody gonna lose that dollar.
And you got NFL players have out of all the sports, professional sports, they have the shortest lifespan as far as career. Their NFL career is probably not longer than 5 or 6 years for most of those guys. Most NBA players play into 20 years. Before they retire. LeBron James, I think this is 21st year as a professional player. He's still playing. But most NFL players could never play as long as LeBron James has played. So their money comes quickly, and they have to watch it because it's not going to be there that long. They don't have the longevity, the earning potential. Unless some of the guys make millions, like a Shannon Sharp makes millions, and then he lucked up and got into television broadcasting and get a nice fat check from that. So yeah, those guys get over. But most of these guys, all the money they make on the field, and then like this guy that
Nothing to
had
fall back on.
the guy that had cardiac arrest on the football field last year, Hamilton. He's famous now because he had a heart attack. Nobody knew who the hell he was before then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that cat don't make that much money.
Yeah, and he got a white girlfriend.
And thank God. I mean, thank God he didn't have he's able to play football again because if his career would have ended last year, he would have to watch them dollars because he's not that guy that's making multi-million-dollar contracts. Like, he's just getting a little bit of cash. He's he's doing okay compared to the average guy that works a 9 to 5, but he's not rolling in the millions, where he can just go, all right, well, I can't play football no more. I'm good. No, so yeah, I mean, these guys got to watch their money. So a lot of them can't come out and go, yeah, man, fuck this. I ain't doing shit.
Word, they can't because they not financially stable. Y'all not financially stable to say anything, and don't be surprised if they pick these people because they know that they need them. They're controllable. Most of these artists are controllable because they got issues and they know they came from nothing, and they're not going to do nothing to jeopardize their money or anything or their lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what Ice Cube was talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The gatekeepers, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Gatekeepers. Highly Flavored says, here we go. We are the softest and the weakest revolutionaries.
What, in this lifetime?
I guess.
Well,
Pretty much, they got us by the balls, Kev. They got us by the balls. Do you guys want freedom or do you want these millions of dollars?
I just don't want to get assassinated.
Yeah.
You know how as soon as you start talking about saving a black person, they like kill him down, kill him down.
So
I believe it. You better believe it. Everybody don't have Louis Farrakhan security detail. You know what I mean?
And
We gotta
listen,
watch our ass on this show. I gotta go put the trash. I gotta go put the trash out tonight. Ain't got nothing to me but my 2 little puppies. They ain't biting nothing but dog food. I'm like, I'm getting at that age now where I carry a pocket knife now, but that ain't gonna hurt.
Okay.
Be like my boy that Putin shot out the air the other day. So yeah, he can't mess with people, man.
Who's that?
Putin. You see that plane went down with the dude on it?
Oh, right,
Listen, I'm not with white on white crime, but that is some tea right there. That man was coming for Putin. Okay,
Yeah, he was.
I saw it because you know how they so showing different news. He had his whole team, and then all of a sudden he's flying from the sky down. I said,
one wing missing off the plane. The plane just swirling down. One wing missing.
Right.
One wing was missing. One wing fell off.
They shot the wing off. Yeah.
Allegedly, everything, y'all, we don't know none of this. We just seeing what y'all putting up there in the news. You know, I want to make y'all come for us. Yeah, it was like.
Really? And Putin said
it was like he's gone. And I'm like, no, that man.
All of Putin's enemies.
Tried it. I think he went straight. I think he came close to. I think he switched up on Putin. Like he was for him, and then he switched up on him and went in. And he didn't. I think he didn't do anything, but he showed how powerful he was to bring his people in. And you know, people of power don't play that. You know, you can't try to disrespect me. So he, you know, Putin got a one up on this, but they say they don't have nothing to do with this. Is all alleged. But that was crazy.
So
said,
you know,
God.
I mean, and we've said this on the show before. You know, Dr. King was a poor man in a sense. He had millionaires that took care of him. You know, Sammy Davis Jr. and Aretha Franklin, and Harry Belafonte, and all those guys put money up. You know, to help him pay bills and things like that while he was out fighting the good fight. But he was no stretch of an imaginary, a millionaire of a sense, right? So, I mean, you got guys today like Al Sharpton, who probably lives in a mansion, who probably got a couple $1 million in the bank, right? So, how far do Al Sharpton want to put his neck on the line to the point where he wants to catch a bullet for our asses, you know? You know, because at the end of the day, it's not worth it, right? You know, because we still got to go out and like individually do our thing. Because we still, no matter what happened, we still have black people killing black people, right? So we still have more. We still, we'll be real on this show. We still have more black people in Jacksonville, Florida, murdered by black people than what that dude did yesterday, right? But it's the point of why he did it. He shot us because we're black. We don't shoot each other because we're black. We just shoot each other because we just, you know. We're just conflict and just that's the way it goes. But Italians kill Italians. And
it's
Asians
just like
kill
it's black on
Asians,
black, it's white on white,
and
right?
white kill white. Yeah, so that's just the way it goes.
It.
Yeah, everybody gets some of it, right? Nobody back in the mob days when, you know, the mobsters were running New York City and Chicago, they were killing each other every day, you know.
Over turf and money
and blowing each other's cars up and putting people in meat grinders and, you know, all sorts of crazy ways of killing people.
They was maybe in fish and
the Italians had the worst murders on the planet, man. You piss off a mob dude, you don't know you gonna want to die. That's how they're gonna torture you so bad, right? You're gonna be wanted to be dead. But yeah, so we didn't invent murder, you know what I'm saying? But
I don't think we address it as much or as vigorous as we should.
And we will. We ain't going nowhere. The show is here, and we need to talk about it more. You know, we need to talk about it, and we'll do some shows on it. You know, we need to dig deep into it. You know, and try to come up with solutions. Right now, we're talking about this fool who shot 3 people yesterday for no damn reason. Those people should be dead. And like I said, the blood is on the
Rest in
hands
peace.
of DeSantis. He needs to be held accountable for it, and it takes. I think, you know, all the black politicians. You know, there was one lady. I don't know who she was. She's some politician in Florida. She was on MSNBC today, and she was in tears. And what she said was powerful. I know Carl's good at finding videos. Carl, you might not have enough time to find it for this show, but she was on MSNBC this afternoon, and her what she said was so powerful. She called out DeSantis ass like it ain't never been called out before, and she's
a
broke it.
politician.
Yeah, she's a politician out of Florida. I don't know what her position is, but I was just listening to her on the radio when I was driving, and she was in tears, and she was so passionate, and her what she said was so unbelievably deep. And I meant to bring it up to your attention earlier, but yeah, it was just amazing and deep what she said, and she called out DeSantis like is no tomorrow. He got his ass handed to him by this lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't get her name, man, unfortunately, but yeah, she was
You gotta keep notes, Kev, when you be seeing stuff, because I do it. I keep my phone. If I catch something, I write a note down. Because I got to, because I know we got to talk about that stuff. Things like that has to be talked about, especially how it affects people from all walks of life. I want to know how it affects you, because that means if they didn't affect you, that means you don't have no empathy and sympathy for a human being. Okay, nobody should never feel like they can't go to the store or they gotta watch their back, you know, and that lets you know too. Them people that probably didn't even think that this white boy was gonna come in there and do that. You know, he just came out of nowhere and did that, and they didn't have time to do anything, act or try to do it. We send our sincere condolences to the family of those 3 lost souls that lost their life on that day, on yesterday. We really,
I think it's, and I know everyone that's black knows that it hurts more, it bothers you more when you know somebody's doing something to you just because you're black, because you know you can't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? You can't do nothing. If somebody was doing something to you because they didn't like your hairstyle or they didn't like the way the clothes you wear, you can take the clothes off, you can change your hairstyle, but if somebody don't like you or somebody kill you or shoot at you or doing anything to you just because you're black,
it's sickening.
Yeah, and so I'm saying this because this is why black people don't really respond to the black on black killings, or when gang black people kill each other. It doesn't hurt as much as when somebody kill you or do something to you just because you're black. You know?
Well, I don't think it doesn't hurt as much. I think it's because it's why it happened, because we already know what's going on, but a lot of people just don't get it. Anybody that lose their life, just like black or white, it hurts, Carl. It's a part of pain. I think it's more that everybody is not thinking that we have racial issues. You understand what I'm saying? We have racist issues, and that's, if you listen to the when they was talking about it, they stressed, the black man stressed, the sheriff stressed that he hated black people. Hated, like he had a real major issue. We like, wait a minute, what's going on? You know, because we don't, like you said, black people, we don't do that. We don't just sit there and say we hate white people, we going in there, we're gonna do this. We don't do that. We don't think on that level. But you have this young man that has an opportunity to get anything he wants. He has skin protection, but you felt that killing, he didn't want to be here no more. That was a suicide. He didn't want to be here no more, because remember, he took his life too. And most of them do that so they can be able to go down in history for doing some racist, nasty, disgusting. Message to y'all, please stop. Talk to your children, please. Talk to your white children.
But that's the thing that's not happening. I think if you're white and you're in a family that has some racist people in it, apparently they don't say anything. Because I told you I had a white friend that she told me she was at a family gathering. It wasn't Thanksgiving, it was another holiday. Anyway, she had some very racist people in her family that support Trump, and they were saying some very racist things about black people and anybody that wasn't white. And she said, I got so upset, I just walked out of the room. I'm like, did you not? Why didn't you just say something?
Because they would have slapped her ass just like they punched that little white boy in his stomach when he tried to come and help his co-worker.
You know,
they can't talk about it. They can't. I can't stand up and say something. That looked like you heard what you said, Kev. That little boy said. He said, "I got my life on the line for telling y'all how racist my parents and his great grandparents was."
All right, we got someone checking in from Canada.
Hey, Canada. Hey, welcome everybody who's tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe and share.
Yes. Rad Killer says it's a sad world. Yes, it is. We are all fucked no matter the color. He says, I'm white from Canada. He said, this is very interesting. This is interesting.
Oh, hi, welcome. And we're just talking real talk.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're gonna wrap up the show, but I'm gonna show this video. This brother got fired.
Should I get stretched?
No,
shaken?
this is a thing. All women should watch this. This is a video he made for
you
all.
Gotta get warnings from
black
Carl and his videos.
This brother he's a nurse. A little background. He's a nurse in the ER and the trauma center and the ICU, all that stuff. And he's a black male nurse, and he was just telling black women to he was just warning you guys. So, but he got fired after he made this video. So
that was going to happen. He went against the guidelines. You don't talk about anything.
Good morning. I beg you, please share this video. I really don't care about the numbers. But for black people, for black women, I need you to hear this if you don't hear nothing else in your damn life. Sister, if you are giving birth to a child, if you plan on giving birth to a child, I need you to listen to me. Sisters, I need you to listen to me like you ain't listened to a black man before. Don't you take your ass to a hospital that you done asked 1,000 questions before you stepped your ass in there. Do you hear me, sister? I worked in the ICU the other night. I'm normally a trauma medic in the emergency room, but I picked up a shift in the ICU. And we immediately got a sister in there who had an emergency C-section, and she had internal bleeding, hemorrhaging. Now the baby was taken out and the sister was brought up to the ICU and critical care, critical condition. We could not figure out where she was bleeding from, and we were trying to keep this sister alive. I turned to the doctor at some point, doctor that does not look like us, and I say, doctor, can you come take a look at her stomach? It's getting really distended. And her BP, her blood pressure is not going down. That doctor looked at me and said, that's my patient. I'll be over there in a minute. 2 hours later, after this sister coded on that table 2 times and we had to get her back, we finally get her down to the operating room. And yeah, that hemorrhage that they thought they controlled with that emergency C-section was not controlled. She was still having internal bleeding, which was killing her. Black people, I need you to hear me. If you can take your black ass to Target, if you can go to Walmart, if you can buy and spend and do for all these corporations that don't give a damn about you, your black ass, your black community, your black race, you can ask questions for that black baby. I don't care if you think you're annoying, the doctor think you're annoying, the hospital think you're annoying. I don't care if God himself think you're annoying from asking too many questions. Ask the question, sister. Because there's going to be a certain point in that pregnancy where you ain't going to have the ability to ask not a damn thing, sister. It's going to be out of your hands. So while it's in your hands, sister, I'm going to need you to take control of that pregnancy. Black men, don't you let that woman go into that hospital and you don't know every inch of that building. You need to know if something goes wrong, who is going to put their hands on your woman, on your child. And other black people, if you work in the hospital, speak up. Say something.
Yep, he got fired right after that.
Yeah, because he was talking real talk. He was in the belly of the beast in the healthcare system, and he see how they treat us, and he had to speak how he spoke, and I'm very proud of him. And I don't care if I hope he open up his own practice or something. you know, and do his own thing, because that was horrible. Those people don't care about us.
The scary thing here, though, is imagine what we don't know or we don't see.
Yeah, because if you don't say nothing,
Right.
they're not going to say anything to you. If you don't even act like you care. Like when I take my mother to the doctor, I don't play that. I ask questions. I talk about it, and I tell them from the beginning, I love my mother. Do not play games.
You know, but imagine what happens when there's all white people in the room, doctors and nurses, and the patient's black.
That happens a lot too.
Yes, absolutely. But imagine how many didn't make it.
Oh, many didn't make it. What are you talking about?
Right.
Many. Look at Henrietta Lacks. She
Right.
just got her money. And she's been, I think she would have been 102 years old. They've been fighting for almost 60, 70 years to get her money from them using her cells from cancer.
Yeah, but I mean, how many black people go in for operation and don't come out? And the only reason they don't come out just because they're black. Right? There's no urgency to save their lives just because they're black.
Or they knew that their family wouldn't complain or say anything about it.
You know, and this is why, you know, I think somebody said we got enough people on the basketball court. We need people in the emergency room, and you know what I mean, we need more doctors
and creating your own place, creating your own. We don't have our own black hospital. Do we have a black hospital? Let's talk about that. Okay.
You're in Dr. Umar territory.
No, I'm dead serious.
Yes. We have a Jewish Memorial Hospital, right? They have Jewish Memorial Hospitals all over the place.
Right. Why we don't have an all-black hospital with the top black doctors up in there saving black people? But y'all sit up here and complain about this system? Is it that serious that y'all cannot build a hospital? Come on. Now, if y'all rich black people don't want to support a black-owned, black-run hospital, something is wrong. That something is wrong.
So who is some, like in Africa, they do have black hospitals that are supported by, you know, black African entertainers. They built black hospitals for the black people, but for some reason,
think about it. They in Africa.
Right.
There are other places where they, you know, they get, it's like missionaries and stuff. You know, missionary places or people, organization, they don't know what they doing to them. They could be taking their DNA, their blood, their kidneys, kidnapping them children. Yeah, you have to create your own. That's our issue. We do not create our own. We definitely need for medical, and we also need mental health.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct, Tiffany.
Look, all those people that was in that store, you think they didn't see what happened? Or they had to experience. You should have saw the family members out there. They out there praying and crying. They had to experience that. People is going to need help after this.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Dr. Joy DeGruy always talks about black slave syndrome, slave syndrome. Like black people suffer from mental health because of slavery. Even though it might not happen to me. You know what I mean? Like I tell you, I swear to God, to this day, watching George Floyd die in front of my eyes,
it changed your life.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, we 100%. Yeah, we suffer from systematic racism too. It's still in our blood. We went through different levels of this.
Because we all know, had that been a white person, that wouldn't have happened. 100% would not have happened. Had that been a dog, you think? If that was the worst pit bull or whatever Rottweiler, and there was, needed to be calmed down or whatever, you think that officer would have knelt on his neck and held it down?
Hey, Carl, I just sent that video to you from MSNBC. I just put it into our chat line. I don't know if you can.
Which
one?
On regular phone.
The one from MSNBC I was telling you about.
You send it to.
I sent it to our chat line. I sent a link to our chat line.
The chat between me and you and him on our regular phone.
Yes, on our regular phone. I didn't. Yeah.
Sent you a link.
Yeah, I don't know if you can grab that or not, but I just sent it over to you.
All right, let me see. All right, you guys hold it down while I see if I can.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Thank you again for all coming in.
So, Tiffany, you dressed up tonight. What's going on?
You think I'm dressed up?
Yeah, you dressed up.
I thought I tried to look cute every Sunday.
Well, you look very nice every Sunday. I'm just saying you're dressed up tonight. Like you got your something extra going on there, like an
Oh,
evening gown
that's
or
what.
something.
Oh, Jesus! Look,
Never
I had to
mind.
catch myself. Like, no, it's
you,
just a
you,
ripped
you,
up shirt.
oh, the ripped up shirt. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a
I can
ripped
see
up
it now. Okay, gotcha. So it's not a dress; it's a shirt.
No, it's not. It's just a shirt. I got pajamas on the bottom.
Ah.
That's the secret sauce. I got pajamas on the bottom.
See, that's what happens with the video thing. Now you could just most of the time you can crop your camera where you don't have to show what you can be sitting there in a girdle. We wouldn't know.
And no, won't even know. I'm actually recovering. I'm recovering from the party. So once I finish with y'all, I'm dropping like the.
Last week I did the show with no clothes on, just a shirt.
I believe you.
Had a shirt on. I was sick last week too.
I believe you.
Yeah, and just a shirt. That was it. Remember the guy
We got to
on?
do a pajama day.
Remember the guy that got caught masturbating on CNN?
Yes, he was a prominent guy too.
Yeah, prominent TV guy. He was he was during the pandemic. Everybody was doing this, during the pandemic. And he thought his camera was off, and he got off the air and started pleasing himself. But he was still online, so everybody could see him. He got
That's
fired for that
ridiculous.
too.
So he was up there like, I just want to say hello to everybody
So
that I'm doing.
So CNN let him go, but that was wrong to let him go for that. Man can't please himself.
not in public.
Well, he didn't know it was an accident, But that was messed up. I forgot Jeffrey Tooman was his name, something like that. Yeah, that dude got let go.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I think, Tiff, I think that we're in a bad spot. I think that we need. I'm sorry. I said we're in a bad spot. I think that we're not going to get out of this because our people that have all the power aren't making no moves.
So deal with yourself and your family and your close, people that your loved ones, and just spread the word of keep your head up, get education, protect your family, because your own people will turn on you if you try to help people.
That's it. Nobody want to take that bullet. Nobody wants to get that. Nobody wants to get canceled, as they say today, right?
And they don't want you to be messing up Master's plan. They like the way Master running things. You can't be coming over here messing up what Master do.
Yeah, I can find a way to get that video up, Kev.
Okay, well, sure. Next week.
Yeah, we can catch it next week because we have to have updates. Remember, this just happened yesterday. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff is all alleged. It could be more stuff, things to come out, and we will keep on the updates to this because, like I say, it just happened yesterday. So, because I want to know more.
So the guy that did the guy that did the top shooting in Buffalo, New York.
No, yeah.
When does his trial start? Is he still in jail?
It started already. You didn't see it? When the call that was in the video. He had apologized and everything to everybody. He got life in prison.
Oh, he got life in prison.
Yeah, he got life in prison. Rockabye baby, he gotta go. But he's in prison now, and I you would think that this would teach other, white people this, but the other guy took his life anyway, so he wasn't going to prison. He just did.
Hate. I'm not even saying this to be funny, but I think hate is genetically embedded in some white people. I do.
Yes.
They just can't seem to help it. They just hate. You don't see it with any other race, right? You don't see it with any other race. You might not like someone, but it had nothing to do with the fact that they're white, and you definitely don't want to go kill them.
Right? No, but you have other things, but yeah, it's people out there. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Once again, thank you. Oh, Rad Killer from Canada, thank you for checking in. He said he's sorry he didn't catch us earlier. He missed most of the show.
Watch
We'll be
it
back next
again.
week.
Yeah, you can still go to YouTube and watch.
You should still go to YouTube, and leave a comment because we like to go through the comments.
Yes.
You know, sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're rude.
And we like to find out what it's like living in Canada.
Mm-hmm. What's the history?
Cold.
It's cold in Canada.
Yeah,
You live in the mountains.
Yeah, Mr. Rad Killer, keep your fucking smoke up in Canada. You guys get that smoke up your side, Kevin?
Yes, of course.
That Canadian smoke. Yeah, please keep your smoke up in Canada. We don't need it down here. Unless it's pot smoke. Then
Carl, you back there smoking joints?
No, I have not smoking a joint ever.
How about yourself, Tiff?
Yeah, and our Bob Marley.
She's gonna blame it on Bob Marley.
No, that was the code word, baby. Bob Marley.
Well, that's a cold word. Okay.
Nice and nice, furry. No.
Yeah, highly favored from YouTube. She made it. She said, "Look up how bad the Aboriginal Australians are treated." They
did a lot of the breeding.
Yeah, they're out in the freaking desert or whatever, and
they did a lot of breeding to them. They said they were one of the worst experiments that they did to them. It's a history about them.
Yeah.
But for the record, I've never smoked marijuana a day in my life.
Oh, get out of here! We got to smoke a Bob Marley.
No, I'm serious. I've never smoked marijuana. I've never had a marijuana ever.
Oh, well, that makes two of us.
You never smoked before?
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
So we haven't done it.
This clean life, which I support clean lives because not everybody is supposed to do
next
drugs
time we
and
meet up,
alcohol.
Tiffany, next time we meet up, we're gonna pass the Dutchie. You're gonna pass the Dutchie.
You want me to pass the Bob Marley to you? Look,
you gotta pass the Dutchie from the left hand side. We're gonna pass it to the left. Okay.
Hey, Tiffany, I gotta get you on the smoothie right here.
First of all, I'm still waiting for my he owes us one. Okay, he owes us one of these spinners.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Get you one. You gotta use it though. Can't be like sitting up in your living room just as decoration. You can't turn an ashtray into it for make a bong out of it or something. You gotta actually,
Did you just say I was gonna make an ashtray or a bong out of it?
I'm saying don't.
I would not do that. I am a lady.
Okay.
So that makes 3 of us. So Renee Lewis, who's watching us on YouTube, says they never smoked either. So that's 3 of us.
So nice.
That's
3 of us never smoked there.
Yeah.
Tiff's like, I'm smoking as soon as the show over. Hurry up.
Amen.
Probably got it lit under the table right now. As soon as the show finishes,
you didn't see the smoke coming up
here. All right, you want to thank everyone for checking in with us again on this Sunday. Thank you so much for spending another hour and a half, actually an hour and 40 minutes with us. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Please tell your friends. Rad Killer up in Canada. Please tell all your Canadian friends about us so they can tune in. Renee Lewis said, great show. Thank you so much. Please tell your friends.
Thank you.
Tiffany, Kevin, you know how we do every Sunday. What did you learn, Tiffany? Or what would you like to share before we take off?
I hold my pocketbooks when white people come across me.
Tiffany,
no, for real, I don't trust them. You know, I just, I pray for the family. My condolences, and please understand, people. I have to laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah,
I don't want people to think that I make fun or we make fun of it. They are real comedians. I'm a home comedian, a bootleg comedian. So I have to laugh to keep from crying because it's very sad that we as Black people are still having these issues after 400 plus years. And the only thing we want is to be left alone, to make decent wages, take care of our family, and have cookouts once in a blue moon and have fun. We don't want anything else. And for somebody to take it upon themselves to go to a discount store in our community and take us out because you hate Black people, That's an issue for me. And to be honest, I'm saying this to white people. I hope that you sit back and take this as a reflection time to sit and start talking to your friends, your family, and start raising your children right to respect human beings, especially black ones, because we didn't ask to come here. Y'all stole us, okay? Now I gotta walk around here every time I see y'all and grab my pocket because I think you're gonna try to steal me again. So we love you all. We love my people. We love our people. Please make sure you like and subscribe to us. We don't own the rights. We are just talking about how we feel about our people that we love.
Absolutely. Kevin, did you learn anything today? Anything you want to share before we go?
Yeah, I learned that Tiffany loves her pocketbook.
No name. I'm not a no name. I'm not a no name.
My mom texted me, told me great show. She's watching the show. So
hi, Mom.
Don't make me cry. I love you, Mama.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, man, when she did that, my family knows me. My family knows me because I'm part of it. But I'm saying I've been a professional comedian for over 35 years. So, my family know that part of me where I'm always the funny guy. And then they see this podcast and they see this side of me where, taking on serious issues and stuff like that. Politics, talk about politics and race relations and stuff like that. And I hate my family to see this side in a sense, but they watch the show, they enjoy it, but I'd rather just make people laugh in America, and around the world. And unfortunately, this is my calling to do this show. I just can't make people laugh every day. I got to talk about the hurt that we're going through in this country, just
Is
what
that why
happens.
Dick Gregory stopped doing comedy? Did it was too much going on for him?
As a possibility, I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Gregory several times. I never really got into a deep conversation with him about that. I wish I would have. I wish I would have taken advantage of the times I spent with Dick Gregory and gotten more into him. I actually had dinner with Dick Gregory and his wife in Washington, D.C. And just us sit at the table at a Chinese restaurant, eating for like an hour. I just got off stage and Dick Gregory was in the restaurant with his wife. He invited me over. I sat down, talked with him and his wife, and we didn't even talk politics. And I didn't even at the time realize that I was sitting in with greatness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was this weird thing. Like now I smack myself all the time going, you had dinner with Dick Gregory,
You could have
Now I
asked
think
more
about it,
questions, though.
but at that time I didn't think about it. That was the second time I met Dick Gregory. I also was on a radio show with Kathy Hughes, when she had her radio station in Baltimore. She did a radio show, and I was on with her. And Dick Gregory was on the air, so I've been in his presence several times, and very gracious to have be in his presence and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't. If I can do it all over again, you know what I mean? I would ask him these questions and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, he was a very serious guy, but he was a funny guy. A lot of people don't realize he's a very funny stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But then he got into their politics and uplifting his people and stuff like that, and teaching people about eating healthy and all that sort of stuff. And he kind of took a different direction in his career. So yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, that's a good question, Carl. But
Yeah.
it's hard. It's not hard to do both because I will be on stage somewhere next week making people laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not unfortunately, I got to go back to Florida in October. I'll be in Florida in October. So,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Every time I go to Florida to perform, man, the emotions that you go through, because I have a good time there and I meet so many great people, black and white, that come out to my shows.
Yeah.
And you have so much fun with these people. You take pictures with these people and you post them on your social media. I'm going, these white people are nice to me. You're like, how long is this going to last? Is this just because I'm on stage for the night? Like, when they get back to their apartment, do they turn into, Trump loving people? Or, I mean, you just don't know, right? You've been in my shoes, Carl. You're a comedian.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, we perform in front of white people all the
I've
time.
had
dude.
people. I've been back to white people's houses after a show because we have we're having a party. You want to, and you go back to the house and but Tiffany's holding her chest like, I mean, it's like they seem cool, you know what I mean. But after I leave, who knows? I don't know what happens after I leave, but
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So yeah, it's a fine line that we entertainers that we have to navigate, man. It's really crazy. But yeah, so yeah, I'll be back in Florida in a few weeks doing shows down there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I learned today on the show was that black people are making too much money for us to have another revolution. It's just
That's
too
true.
much at stake, so how are we going to navigate this? Are we going to just have to get used to it? But for us to have not even a revolution, but for us to demand or get our own, and I don't even think we need a revolution, but we are kind of still scared that someone's going to take what little we have, and we don't want to lose that. So
they done took enough, don't you think?
Yeah, it's true, but what's the
Grab
answer?
your pocketbooks, lady.
I don't have an answer. And if nothing else, please pay attention to what the brother said about if you go to the hospital. I mean, we knew that. We talked about it on the show before, but there you had someone who worked in the actual ER. He worked in the trauma. He worked in the ICU. And the white doctors, they don't, and it's been studies out on that. The white doctors do not put as much into taking care of the black patients as they do their white patients. And that's why more black people die at the hospital than white people do, because they don't get the same treatment. It's just a fact, folks. Nothing we made up. We're not trying to start trouble. We're not making up stuff. It's not fiction. White doctors take care of white patients better than they take care of black patients. It's a fact. I'm not saying all of them do it, but enough where it raises concern. So take the information and do with it what you may. And with that, I would say good night. We love you. And please join us again next Sunday.
We'll be here.
We will definitely be here.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the black therapy show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. First we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you empathy, you gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwashed education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's